Hello, and welcome to the Punnery. This is Petey. Hi, Petey. Anyway, wanted to welcome. We got me right in the mouth. He's a little crazy tonight. This was a podcast that was originally just an audio podcast. It's still available wherever you can find podcasts. But I wanted to go ahead and put it on YouTube on my channel so that more people could be exposed to it. I hope you enjoy it. Say goodbye, Petey. What do you think of hearing yourself in the headphones?
I'm a bit confused, a bit perplexed,
Right.
because I hear like there's a like delay, So
a
I'm
slight
hearing.
one.
I made that up. There is no delay.
There's no.
I was seeing if you would. I was testing you.
I fell into your trap.
I pranked you.
I hear it on delay.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean it's the slightest delay because the speed of light is quicker than the speed of sound.
Right. So I see your mouth moving.
Right.
Faster than
All
it
right.
gets.
Are we
to
ready to
me.
get started?
Yeah.
I think we are.
I'm so ready.
If you're a fan of groaners, one-liners, and dad jokes, you have just found your safe space. The Punnery is a series of games, challenges, and general word nerdery for those who, like us, cannot resist bending the English language to serve our twisted wits. Victor Hugo wrote that puns are the droppings of soaring wits. Well, if that's true, watch your step, because you have just entered the Punnery. All right, we are back for episode 3 of the Punnery.
Yay, the Punnery.
Yay! Let me tell you, the response we have gotten from those first 2 episodes is just overwhelming.
Yeah, staggering.
Yeah, actually, I find this pretty strict divide between people who just want to hurt me every time I make a pun, and people who get very excited about it, and they'll want to play along.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a $50 gift certificate to Outback Steakhouse.
Just because of this podcast? You're making that up.
Maybe.
Wait a second. I did all the editing. I should at least get to go with you.
I've
I
been
have some
caught
cheese?
in so many lies already.
Can I have
It's
some
2.
cheese fries? No, that's right.
Cheese fries.
Cheese fries, please. Anyway.
A bloomin' punion.
Oh!
That's what I want.
Very nice. So, Michael, in mentioning bloomin' punions, have you ever found yourself using puns in the wild? Not here in our nice isolated studio that we have, thanks to WordPress ninjas for providing this wonderful space. But have you ever tried to use a pun, just with a friend or even a stranger, and had either a positive or negative result?
This isn't like a pun I tried to make. This just happens to be like an accidental stumbling upon wordplay.
Okay.
So I speak Dutch, and I started learning a couple years back. I'll try and shorten the story very much. One of the ways I learned was I would speak to my cousin who lives in Belgium.
Okay.
And so I wrote her a message one time. I said, hey, do you have some free time tomorrow at this time to talk? And she goes, yeah, okay, sure. So she calls me the next day, and we're talking in Dutch. I have her on Skype, and I'm in the bedroom. I'm, getting ready for work.
Right.
My wife is there, and I have her on, like, speaker and all that stuff. Or no, I don't. I have her on headphones, so my wife can't hear her, but she can hear me. And my cousin says, you used the word free time, and you wrote vrijtijd. Yeah, those are the 2 words,
Okay.
vrij, free, tijd, time. She goes, you need to write vrije tijd with an E in the middle, because if you don't put that E in there, it means sex time. So you asked me yesterday if I had time for sex at this point, right? And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's so embarrassing. We laughed about it for a while, and then I took her off the headphones and had her on speaker, right? And I was saying bye, and she goes, all right, have a great day, and don't tell your wife about the sex time. And, of course, immediately my wife just
What was that?
does that, like, exorcist head turn, and looks at me and is just like, excuse me, what did she say? And I was like, A, that's my cousin who lives in Belgium. B, let me explain. So that was
accidental wordplay.
Accidental wordplay.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, we are going to get started on our segments here. The first one up we're going to do is headlines. Headlines.
Extra, extra. Read all about it. Extra, extra. Read all about it.
way this one works is I have culled some stories from the interwebs, some strange and magical tales, but of real things that have happened. And I've stripped them of their real headlines so that we might, come up with better ones that use puns, which is an old tradition in journalism to pun in a headline. But we're going to try it right here as amateurs. So, Michael, would you like to read the first story?
Sure. Story number 1. The Transportation Security Administration says a 20-pound live lobster has been spotted in a passenger's luggage at Boston's Logan International Airport. TSA spokesman Michael McCarthy says the lobster found Sunday in the passenger's checked luggage at the airport's Terminal C is the quote-unquote largest he's ever seen. McCarthy says the TSA doesn't prohibit transporting lobsters. The TSA website says a live lobster is allowed through security, but must be transported in a clear, plastic, spill-proof container. McCarthy says the lobster was in a cooler and, quote-unquote, cooperated quite nicely with the screening process.
Excellent. First one we have is TSA catches shellfish stowaway.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. The second, maybe we need a laugh track.
Yeah, let's not turn this into like the Big Bang Theory or something.
Have you seen Big Bang Theory when it's just Ricky Gervais laughing?
No, I've seen it where there's no laughter
No, I
whatsoever.
saw where they stripped the studio audience and they just put in Ricky Gervais laughing. It's glorious. All right, second headline: Allahu Snack Bar. TSA foils sinister lobster pot. There's a lot there.
We won't say who wrote that one.
Okay.
So they won't be slandered.
Right. That's probably a good idea. The third one: lobsters' travels end in Terminal C.
Terminal C.
Right. SEA. C. Nice. Yeah. Then we have man loses lobster due to TSA clause. Did I do that one justice?
Yes. Yes.
Michael's of the belief that the way you say clause.
Yeah, clause. Clause.
So are you trying to make it sound more like lobster's clause or more like a legal clause when you say it with
It's
that
both.
accent?
If you're from the Northeast, you say clause both way. He's got clause.
Right, but I say clause both ways, but just not like that. I say it the same way.
Clause.
Clause.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You're just changing the accent, which also uses them as homonyms.
Well, maybe it's the suggestion that this was in Boston that makes me want to do that.
Maybe
I don't
maybe
know.
all of these should be read with a Boston accent.
Well, go on. You've got one left.
Boston TSA says suitcase lobster is business as usual.
See,
It was way better.
See how much better that
way
was.
better. Business as usual.
There's probably like a Bostonian out there going, "That's New York, you bastard."
Yeah, probably.
And then now, and what I did too was probably New York.
Probably.
I don't know.
Awesome.
I can't get the nuance.
Yeah. All right. Would you read? I'll read story number 2.
Sure.
Police say a motorcycle officer. That's how they say it in Boston.
Motorcycle.
Police say a motorcycle officer who stopped a driver for speeding on a suburban highway north of Atlanta had an extraterrestrial encounter, sort of. George Gordon, a spokesman for police in Alpharetta, said that when... Wait. Is the spokesman for the Alpharetta Police really named Commissioner Gordon?
I don't think he's not a commissioner, is he?
Can we make him a commissioner? Anyway, Commissioner Gordon, a spokesman for police in Alpharetta, says that when the officer pulled the man over Sunday, a large life-size doll of a big-eyed, large-skulled alien was riding in the front passenger seat. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution first reported the encounter, saying that the driver was clocked at 84 miles per hour, not quite warp speed. And Gordon later told the Associated Press, quote, he did not mention as to why he had an out-of-this-world passenger. The driver got off with a verbal warning and some laughs from the officer. Michael, what are our headlines?
Our first headline, speeding with alien Mars driver's perfect record.
Oh.
That's right.
Funny because of Mars.
It. Oh, dear.
What did you got next?
Huh? Oh,
next?
yes. There's other ones here
Yeah.
on the page. If I go down the
That's
page,
true.
I see them.
That's true, yeah.
Orion seatbelt. Alien caught riding shotgun.
Right. It's more like a 1920s headline. When they would have
yeah,
like...
or 50s, you know.
Yeah, like when they had
pulled
the
from the old
exclamation
Adam
point.
West Batman.
Right. Yes. Excellent. May he rest in peace. This is a little bit of an homage right here.
Yeah, to Adam West.
Right.
All right, Alpharetta driver pulled over for alien race.
Oh.
Bazoom. I wish you could see the hand gestures that go with this. I guess that's the difficulty of a podcast.
I suppose.
Aliens driver speeds to meet ETA.
Oh. Nice.
ET.
His ETA. Nice. All right, story number 3 of headlines. In 2008, it was reported that a 13-year-old schoolboy was arrested for farting excessively. The student at the Florida school was reportedly passing gas and mischievously turning off the computers of his fellow classmates. The Martin County Sheriff's Office released a report that claimed the boy continually disrupted the classroom atmosphere by farting intentionally, which was followed by shutting down some computers that were in use by other students at the time. After he confessed to his actions, the boy was placed under arrest by a school resource officer and charged with disruption of a school function, with a bodily function. He was later released to his mother.
Where he later released more to his mother.
At his mother, right.
At his
In
mother.
her general direction.
Oh, Lord.
All right, give us some headlines.
Quite
Michael.
rude. All right, I'm going to start. I'm gonna try and save the best for last here.
Okay.
First one. Okay, computer. Show's over.
Again,
That's
from
it.
Boston.
Okay, computer. Show's over. I don't even know where that is from.
It's a thing.
It's a yeah.
I think it's like a New Jersey.
If somebody
Dancing girl.
if somebody can locate that accent, I will buy you a cup of Bond Life coffee. Bond Life coffee.
The almost sponsor of the Punnery podcast.
Right. Next headline: gaseous student considered silent but deadly by police.
You just had to make that joke.
I can't.
Whenever these come up, there's a joke that I'm like, I have to make that one, even if it's not that funny. It's like a required joke to make. That was it for me.
It's so true. Our next headline. Sorry, these are really good. Student. I can't do
You can
it.
do it, Michael. You
No,
can do it.
okay. Student. We can edit this out.
No.
Student arrested for noxious misdemeanor.
When I read that, I thought that one up and read it to my wife. She literally made a face like she wanted to leave forever. Like,
So
ew, you disgusting
Oh,
man.
that's so good. I know it's like faux pas to laugh at your own jokes, but
Well, that one's mine, so it's okay.
I know, yeah, but I mean, like we're a unit right now, Dan.
Oh,
this
I
is
see.
our
I see.
podcast.
To laugh at our own jokes.
Yeah,
no,
okay,
I think
sorry, I
that's
used the wrong pronoun.
Half the podcast is us laughing at our own jokes. So let's
All right,
let's decide it's okay.
Our last headline: student assigns. I'm about to pass out. Dan, you have to read it.
Okay.
All right, you just read it. 'Cause I can't do it.
This one sort of imagines the next step in the school's disciplinary action with this student. School assigns commuter tutor to computer tutor.
Oh man,
I'm glad you liked it so much, Michael.
sorry. It's just tickled. I'm glad they got Kleenexes. We have Kleenexes in the studio.
Yeah, that's how nice this place is.
and I need it because I'm crying.
We've actually posted. We're going to be posting a picture of ourselves recording in the studio, and you'll see the checker box within which we live now. All right, but it's kind of warm in here, isn't it, Michael?
It is.
Which is great.
I am sweating.
That's okay because it's time for popsicle quiz. Hot shot.
But if you wanna keep cool, it does a trick, and it comes on a stick.
All right, Michael, it's time for popsicle quiz. Hot shot. So this is the segment where we eat popsicles. We open our popsicles. What flavor did you get, Michael?
Red.
Nice. I believe cherry is the flavor.
I don't believe that I can legitimately call any popsicle flavor by
its real fruit
by
name.
its real fruit name because they're lies.
Ah,
So I just say red. I got red.
all right. Okay. I have orange. And so the premise here is that we read these questions that come on popsicle sticks. These they're riddles usually or puns. jokes, if you will. And we try to guess what it will be, what the right answer will be. We come as close as popsicle to the right answer. I told you. I warned you every time.
There's a wink in there if you couldn't see it.
And then later on, once the popsicles are gone and we can see the answer, then we see how well we did. All right. So, Michael, what's your question?
Now, this is an interesting one because usually they're pretty elementary and you can just guess them.
Right.
But this one, what did the farmer say to the green pumpkin?
Whoa.
Now, I have a guess. Gorge, you look rough.
That's not it, but it's awesome. I'm positive that's not right. What did the farmer say to the green pumpkin?
To the green pumpkin.
Whoa. Gosh, I don't know.
Right.
Yours is the best answer that I can think of.
I mean, and it obviously can't be. It can't be that answer.
No, that's not right. That's not right. I was thinking something about you're not. It's got to have the word ripe in it somewhere, right?
Does it?
Yeah,
You're not
he's
right.
not ripe, or I'll be right back. That's not right. It's terrible. Okay, mine is not easy either. First of all, I can't see it all, but I can probably guess what it says. What I can see says, "What has a bottom top?"
What has a bottom top?
Yes. But top is on the second line.
Wait.
So I think it says, "What has a bottom but no top?"
Oh.
Right. What has a bottom but no top?
European bikini. But that's not a pun, is it? That's just a statement.
It's just, yeah.
That just brings me back to Vienna, 2008.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vienna.
I was there. I was literally there.
All right. And you didn't wear a top on your bikini.
No, I didn't. No. All right. We're going to try to eat these discreetly. Last time somebody said that while we were eating them through the next segment, it sounded like Dan and I were kissing. And I would just like to point out that if Dan and I are kissing...
You'll know it.
You'll really know it.
All right. So we've got some time. Michael, you think of what the answers could be for that.
Okay.
So next segment that we're going to do is called Word Nerdery. So in Word Nerdery, I like to look at things that are either subsets of puns or kinds of puns, or maybe not even puns at all, but other kinds of wordplay. And I found this fantastic little book, Michael. I was exploring through Chicago in our break since the last time we had an episode. I was in Chicago, and I came upon this very, charming little used bookstore. And I asked the guy, do you have any books on wordplay and, grammar and that kind of thing? And he pointed me to a shelf. He said, if it's anywhere, it'll be there. And I found this book written in 1975, published at the same time I was, 1975. And it's fascinating. It's an almanac of wordplay, a lot of poems and strange kinds of verse. And I get the sense that even in 1975, this was a pretty old-fashioned book. Mm-hmm. So it's real. At times it's really dated, but it's pretty fun and it's clever. But one of the things he does at the beginning is before he starts on his daily exploration, for each day of the year, he has a different kind of wordplay that he demonstrates. And before he starts, he has a definition of terms. And there were a couple that I thought were really cool. The first is a lipogram, and it's a composition lacking a certain letter or letters. And he writes, the Odyssey of Tryphiodorus had no A in the first book, no B in the second, and no C in the third, and so on. So he wrote the entire first book with no A's in it.
What?
There's a 50,000-word novel, Gadsby, Gadsby, by E.V. Wright, that has no E.
No, I'm sorry. 50,000 words without the letter E in it?
It's a lipogram.
I have to write one.
Now you've got a mission.
I have a mission to,
all right,
to fulfill.
And you'll read it on the next podcast, all 50,000 words.
Now,
in a Boston accent.
I've heard of there's a book of poetry where each segment has words that only have like one letter in it, right? Like one vowel in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like the A section has
Right.
words with only the letter A in it, and it's
Right.
very, very fascinating. Or not only the vowel A.
Right.
That's very fascinating.
Then the next word term that he defines, I'm assuming, is rhopalic, RHOPALIC. This is a snowballing line or passage in which each successive word has one more syllable or letter than the last.
Ooh,
Right? That's kind of cool.
that is fun.
And then my favorite is called the Stinky Pinky.
No,
And this
it's
is
not.
just a noun modified by a rhyming adjective, like a drunken pumpkin.
Okay.
Wait, could that be the answer to our riddle?
No.
I don't think so. Okay, just how crazy would that be? So here are some examples, right? A deceased Marxist would be a dead red,
A dead red.
right? A cautious bird.
A wary canary.
Very good, Michael. Look at
Really? Is that
yeah,
it?
That's exactly right.
All right.
A better knife. A better knife.
Better knife. I don't know.
A nicer slicer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I like this one. I don't think you'll come up with it. An explosion in a hen house is a gizzard blizzard. It's sort of gross.
It is.
Anyway, so those are stinky pinkies. A stinky pinky, of course, is one for
Yes.
smelly finger. All right. So that was word nerdery. I think we can finish up our. We can finish up our thing. Go ahead.
No,
What do
I
you
just
got?
want to break this popsicle thing. I did come up with another possible answer during your last segment,
yeah.
which is, do you need your stomach pumpkin?
Jeez.
Right?
Because he was green.
Because he was
Sick.
green. Yeah, sick. Yeah. Both of mine are based on green being
I
sick.
hadn't thought about
or
that.
ill.
Yeah. Ill.
But that's not the answer.
Are you? Oh, I know. He's probably something about. Are you a puking pumpkin? Or no, that's not right
No,
either.
no.
All right, go
It's
ahead.
much more terrible. It's much more terrible and shame-filled than that. So what did the farmer say to the green pumpkin? That was my popsicle stick question. The answer is, why orange you orange?
Jeez. Gosh. That's a rough disappointment. Mine is equally lousy radio. I misjudged what the question was.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what has a bottom at the top?
A bottom at the top. A bottom at the top. A bottom at the top. What has a bottom at the top? I don't know.
A leg.
Oh, because your legs
'Cause your
come
bottom-
together to form the buttocks.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
So yeah, that one a bit more of a riddle than a pun, I would say. A bit.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although bottom sort of means two things. There.
But yeah, that's still riddle territory. That's not
Yeah,
pun
yeah.
territory.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm feeling really betrayed by these popsicle sticks right now.
It's all right.
I mean, mine was just a ghastly pun.
Yeah, it's true. All right, well, that is our popsicle quiz hotshot conclusion. It is time for the pun off.
I am ready.
Good. Good.
Let's get ready to rumble!
For the pun off, we will choose a category from this game. There's a game we use called Punderdome, which we highly recommend. You should go out and buy it. Go online.
Yes.
Buy Punderdome. It's a blast.
Today.
Anyway, we pick a card from here, and we try to battle each other by coming up with as many puns as we can based on this topic. We go back and forth and back and forth. And we're slightly altering the rules this time. Michael, if we're punning back and forth, and then I see that you're faltering, I think, ooh, he doesn't have one. Mm-hmm. Then I can flip this timer right here. This one right here.
Okay. It is an hourglass.
Yes, it's 20 seconds.
Okay.
And here's the deal. Once I flip that timer, we're done in 20 seconds with that round. Because either you name one and you win, or you don't and I win.
Oh, I love it.
Right?
It's a sudden death
Yes,
timer.
it's like a sudden death. That's right. So I'm betting that you don't have another by flipping that timer. All right? All right, let's pick a card here. I've got clothes.
You're really vetting
Clothes.
this.
Clothes is our
Clothes.
category. Yes, clothes. Michael, would you like to go first?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
You're going to go.
Okay. I once knew a tailor who was very wealthy. He was quite the investor.
Right, vest.
Investor,
Nicely
yes.
done. Nicely done.
Stare.
Oh, Michael.
Stare blankly at me.
Michael, that joke has me in stitches. Right back at you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
It's your
I
turn.
forgot it goes back and forth.
So now, do I flip it?
Do you flip it,
You'll
Dan?
come up with something. 20 seconds is
Are
a
you
long
sure?
time.
Are you
Yeah.
sure I will?
There's a lot of meat still left on this bone.
Clothes.
There's a lot of meat on this bone. You can do it.
But you've stumped me. now you have
It's
stumped
all a
me.
head game.
I know it. I always wear a special hat when I go out on Friday nights to play 9-pin because it's a good bowler.
Oh, yeah.
Ring the bell.
Oh, sorry, the
Dang
pun
it.
bell. The pun bell.
Ring that pun bell. I made it.
All right. Well. So, when the baby was born, they do a test on the baby. It's called the APGAR test, APGAR test.
Yeah.
And the mother, after the test, says to the husband, "What was that test all about? I didn't understand what APGAR meant."
Right. Holy crap. I once knew a fraying sweater that was arrested because he was a threat to society.
Oh, I like that quite a bit. That was very good. That same sweater was once interviewed, and they're like, "Why do you do it? Why do you steal and commit thievery?" And he said, "Cash, mere cash."
I worked at a restaurant one time. There was a Chinese guy with very nice shoes that used to come in, and my boss always told me, he goes, "You take very good care of that man." I said, "Why?" He goes, "'Cause wingtips." Because wingtips. Wingtips are a type
What?
of shoes.
Right, but why wing?
Because he's Chinese, Dan.
Oh, his
His
was
name
Mr.
is Wing. Wingtips. Wingtip. Oh, my God.
Tips. Gotcha, wow. Did you say his name at the beginning of the pun?
No, I didn't.
It probably would have helped.
Can I go back and do it again?
No, it's
Ah,
fine.
you're right.
It's too late. Yeah, it's gone. Oh, let's see. So there was this guy who was caught cheating, and the local neighborhood was, gossiping about it. And they're like, I saw his mistress with a black eye. And they're like, "Yeah, what happened to her?" His wife beat her.
Dan, it's inappropriate.
We could do this one a while, I think. Should we
Yep.
call this a draw? I think
Let's
there's
call this
too
a draw
much.
so we can vary up the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
things.
All right. So let's say we both won,
Okay.
but mostly me.
I don't know about that. Wingtips.
Our new category is Disney.
Disney.
Disney. All
Fantastic.
right. I think I have to go first. Is
I
that
think
the deal?
that is true.
All right. Oh, Disney. Let's see. So, there is an alternate version to one of the beloved fairy tales. There's the story of the evil stepmother who, treats her stepdaughter terribly and makes her wash all the pots and pans and clean out the chimney.
I know this one.
And and so somebody's like, why do you put her up with her? Why don't you just Cinderella swear?
Oh, That's like a punch in the gut. That's what that is. All right, I'll do a punch in the gut one.
Right.
No. No, dang it. That's just stupid. I had
You
one.
have standards now?
Yeah, I have standards. I'll shovel that away in case you ever turn that timer over, and I'll just throw it out because it could technically count.
Okay.
Yeah, so just don't ever touch that timer on
right.
this one, because you're doomed. When I was watching Beauty and the Beast, I was with a 13-year-old computer student, and I got Gaston.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at you. Oh, it's
Boom.
Disney and a callback. That's very nice. Wow. Man. Oh, he's reaching for the timer. He's reaching.
Do I gamble it? I gamble it.
Oh! There was a guy who mowed his lawn with a cow. He called it his moo lawn.
No!
Which means I just won that round.
I took a gamble. I shouldn't have gambled
Boom.
it, but
We're not very good about ringing the bell. We need to be better about that.
Oh,
ring,
yeah.
Ring for your own puns.
yeah, you can
We'll
go
make that
back
one.
and put a bell sound
I probably can.
in post production.
Yeah, it feels so artificial. It's like George Lucas adding things.
It should just be your voice going bing.
Maybe.
So then we have like 2 different bell sounds going.
All right. Should we do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
That's a bit vague.
This is the tie maker round.
The time,
Because if
time maker.
because if I win,
Right.
then we tie.
Our category.
Sports.
Sports.
I love sports.
All right. You got to start.
All right. I once found a yellow jacket on the carpet. I guess you could call him a rugby.
I like that quite a bit, actually. That's nice. All right. Oh, let's see. So there was a in Russia, they love their winter sports, Olympic winter sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was one place. He's a private restaurateur. Lou loved winter sports, but his team kept losing over and over again. They never made the qualifying rounds for Olympics,
So sad.
and they got to be known as losers.
I'm so mad at you. I'm so mad at you. There was a. Do I go with this one? There was a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah, was there?
A jiu-jitsu tournament with
Right.
with a couple of teenagers, and whoever lost had to give up their little jiu-jitsu suit, and so whoever won got the guillotine. The guillotine. A guillotine is a choke in jiu-jitsu. And gi is the name of the
Right,
jiu-jitsu
it's a gi.
suit.
Right.
Gets
Nice.
the guillotine.
Okay.
That was really terrible. I sat on that too long.
All right. This one's an homage to my mom. A lot of the football players, when they go to restaurants, they just want, the meat and the potatoes. They don't like all that parsley and like the greenery that they dress it up with. They think that's unnecessary roughage.
Man. I mean, why do rule-breaking hockey players like cake? Because of all the icing.
Very nice. Very nice. Whew. You heard, the hardest part about taking care of elderly Siamese twins? The double dribble.
Oh, dadgummit, Dan. I have a pun now, but I want to save it because I want to come up with something funnier. Now it's a funny contest.
It should have been funny from the start, Michael.
I mean, here's a low-hanging fruit to buy me some more time, right?
Okay.
I mean, what is a back to hockey. What is a hockey player's favorite character from Midsummer Night's Dream?
Puck.
That's
Yeah,
right. It's
nice.
Puck.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh man. I like to go for the more obscure sports and the more obscure words. But I have maybe nothing. Michael's fingers are creeping. Oh, he's thrown the timer. Oh, let's
And of
see.
course you're going to get one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2 in the hole.
Oh. Babe.
You can't do it. You can't do it. Time is slipping away.
That's it.
And it's done.
Time's up.
All right. Tie maker accomplished.
Well done. We ended in a tie.
In a tie.
Yep. Hey, everybody. It's Dan. I wanted to tell you about another podcast in the Tiger Leap Productions family. This one is called Curio with Dan Buck, and it is my current favorite. It's the one I'm recording most often right now. I take an artifact that I found in an antique shop or in some of my strange travels, or I find a library book that interests me, whatever, and I research it. I start pulling on the strings of this thing until stories are revealed, and invariably it is a host of stories that comes out. So if you kind of love the fringe aspects of history, that stuff right at the edge, this show is really for you. Check it out. Curio with Dan Buck. It's available wherever you can find podcasts, and eventually it'll be on this YouTube channel. All right, Michael, it is time for Punny Business.
It's business time. It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh, it's business. It's business time.
And the idea here is based on an old game I used to play where you take a ridiculous concept for a business and you try to come up with a perfect name for that business. And sometimes it's about 2 different businesses coming together. Sometimes it's a very strange business model or a very specific a business with a very specific niche market, right? Niche. Right. So we're going to start with, we asked some of our listeners if they would contribute ideas for punny businesses, and we got quite a few suggestions. We're going to take some of them this time, and we're glad to hear more. By the way, you can comment or share things with us at the Punnery Podcast on Facebook. It's the best way to interact with us. Or you can go to punnery.libsyn, libsyn.com for our website that has all our episodes. And, of course, searching for the Punnery Podcast on iTunes will bring you right to us as well. Actually, I think it's just titled The Punnery on iTunes. All right, so the first one we have here is from Callie Swenson, and she writes that she'd like to hear ideas for a barbecue and foot massage business.
Yeah.
By the way, she notes that she writes, "Wish I could say I haven't already seen this business."
And I would like Callie to submit the actual name of this business to us.
Yeah, and some photos or reviews.
Yeah.
Really, anything. We want more information.
I have to have it.
Yeah. All right, so I'll start because I got a bunch for this one. I started with corn on the barb.
Oh.
It's like corn on the cob and corns and barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And corn. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not great.
That's all right. I've got my first one was tender tendons, and that's really
Okay.
Tender
tendons.
yeah.
Okay.
Because barbecue is
Why not just tenderfoot?
tenderfoot.
That's what it should be.
Well, there you go.
Or tender.
It's like a dating app for feet.
Tender tenders.
Tender.
Tender.
But
The tender. That sounds like someone who's using
but
the app. But...
because the tendon is the part of the foot that I'm going for.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
Anyway, there's something in there for sure.
Sure.
This is probably my favorite one. It's not really a pun. It's just the perfect name for this business. It's called This Little Piggy.
This little piggy. Oh, yes.
Right? How perfect
that is really
that?
good. I think that is, that's fantastic.
We need to call the real business.
Um,
Callie, we've got the new name for your business.
This one works if the owner's last name is Petty.
It's a pretty specific demand.
Petty cured meats.
I like it. I like it.
That's why.
Right.
Or just like small portions. Petty cured meats.
I'm not crazy about this one. The Golden Arches.
Oh yeah, the arch
Right.
of the foot. Yeah.
The Golden Arches. And then, do you have another one?
No, I have
last
two.
one I have is sort of a musical theater reference. Smoky Toes Cafe.
Nice.
All right, let's go. Next up, we have from Joe Frost, who's a listener all the way from Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh wow.
Yeah, international.
Do you
this
know him?
podcast.
Do you know him? Do you know Joe Frost?
Maybe.
Oh.
It would have sounded cooler if,
Yes, I'm just
if I didn't know him.
some dude.
I tried to pretend not to, often.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
But he suggested a Mexican restaurant and wig shop,
Yeah.
which is a toughie,
It is.
actually.
Yeah. I've got 3 for this.
Okay, I've only got one, so you start.
Okay. My first one, which apparently is not great, is 2 pesos. 2 pesos.
Right, to pay
Right.
so's.
Yep.
And I just have I really can't be criticizing your 2 pesos if this is all I'm bringing to the table. I just have taco bot hair. Exclamation point, of course.
I love that one.
Okay.
I've got one. We've got tacos. Obviously, weave as in
It's only sort of funny, but I'm already laughing, so you're just throwing fuel on an
we've got
existing fire.
tacos.
Go ahead.
And my final one is based off of a restaurant here in Cleveland, Tres Hermanos.
Right. We have
Tres
we have
Hermanos.
Tres Hermanos, right? Which in Spanish, Tres Hermanos means 3 brothers.
That's right.
Tres Hermanos, I think, means 3 hairy hands.
Yes, flipping the translation
Right.
midway.
Right.
So
Which makes me really want to eat there.
that's right. Your food, all of your food was prepared by 3 hairy hands.
The hairiest hands.
Which
in
begs the
town.
question, like, who's only using one hand?
That's the question it begs. Begs the question, who's your marketing manager? That's what you're advertising. Okay. I say we skip this one and save it for last.
Okay.
And then, so we'll jump to Ryan Fariselli is apparently a fan of Magic the Gathering, a game, like a kind of an adult Pokemon, right? For Pokemon for grown-ups.
Yeah,
More
but when you say
sophisticated.
adult, it makes it sound like it's nude
No.
Pokemon.
No, it's not.
It
It's
is
not. It's not lascivious in any way.
Right.
There's no ribald cards. It is simply.
Is it ribald or ribbled?
Oh, I think it's ribald.
Ribbled.
Oh,
I don't know.
listeners, write in. Tell us who you agree with. Magic the Gathering, and he says he wants to hear about an auto repair shop with a Magic the Gathering theme to it, right? Which my first thought of this is, why would someone who plays Magic the Gathering need an auto repair shop? They're just borrowing their mom's minivan.
Fair point. A fair point, Dan.
Yeah, right. All right, I only have one for this. How many do you have?
I have 4.
Good Lord. Okay, I'll let you go first. I'll jump
My
in
first
after.
one, the first one and the worst one is decked out.
Oh, that's not bad. I like it.
Yeah, decked out, but that's more like
More of a
that's
chop
not
shop.
Yeah, it's not like an auto repair as it is like a souping up,
Right.
place. So
Souping up place.
souping up place,
We've
decked
we've
out.
clearly souped up our cars
Stop it.
frequently because we know the terminology.
My second one, which is also not so great, carburetors. Right, because if you've ever played Magic the Gathering,
There are
there
cards.
is often a lot of berating that goes on in tournaments, right?
true,
Getting on to people, and then of
suppose
course
that's true.
carburetors.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about the berating part of that pun. Nicely done.
Um,
I'm going to jump in here.
sure.
This one, you have to know a little bit about the game, which betrays the fact that I do, in fact.
Right.
And so I'm making fun of myself when I make fun of people who play Magic. But I just have, it's all about the mechanics. Right. Because the mechanics of the game are
Yes.
an important part about it. Yeah. It's not great, but it's accurate.
It is
Pinpoint
certainly
accuracy.
accurate. Now, my last 2 are also based in Magic the Gathering knowledge, which, I mean, again, if you're going to the Magic the Gathering auto repair shop, you are going to know,
You're going to know the stuff.
a little bit about
Well, I
Magic the
think
Gathering.
what I like about this is that, our audience for people who love puns is already pretty small.
Mhm.
And here we are spending a good section of that podcast narrowing it down even smaller
Right.
to the
Ryan
people who
will
love
like
puns.
this. Rob Alderman will like this. Dave
No, he
P.
doesn't like puns. He doesn't listen.
Oh, wow.
So we have a
Dug
very
up the dirt on you,
a very
Rob.
narrow sliver of Magic fans who are also pun fans.
So mine, one of them is it would have to be a auto repair shop that only deals with a certain type of Japanese car, and it's called Selesnisan. Because Selesnia is
Oh my gosh!
is
It's a
the
planeswalker?
white. No, it's the white and green card combination. That's what what that guild is called. Selesnia.
I've never heard of that.
Selesnisan.
Wow.
And then
That's a deep cut. Right
and then my
there.
last one is Return to Revnica. Right? Because if your car is broken, you can't rev it. When it's fixed, you can rev it. And then Ravnica, Return to Ravnica, was a release
Yeah,
in Magic
right.
the Gathering.
Right. Quite some time ago, I think.
Return to Revnica.
Roughly 20 releases ago.
There you go, Ryan.
Awesome. All right, and our last one is Dusty Strickland, who probably fit in that narrow sliver of people who like puns and Magic the Gathering, which is nice. But he writes that he would like to hear ideas for names for a coffee shop for the conspiracy theorist.
Okay, I've got one for this.
And I have one.
So
as well.
I'm going to go first because I guarantee mine is tortured. Now I can justify it. Mine is a long title, but I think if you've ever listened to a conspiracy theorist, brevity is not their strong point.
Right, it's true.
So I think this would actually be a working name for this establishment. It's called Cappuccino, How the NRA is Trying to Turn Your Hate Towards Hispanic Males.
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
It's more like an underground published article title,
That's right.
but it's all right. I like it. That's terrible. That's really terrible.
I know, it's awful.
And mine is just lacking in any taste or decorum whatsoever. But it's very simple.
Okay.
JFK double shot.
Jesus. Oh, no.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's funny business. All right, Michael. Well, for our last segment, we're going to go through a punniest of show routine. Punniest of show is one of the categories that they have, one of the ways that they compete at the O. Henry Pun Contest, International Pun Contest in Austin, Texas, where people have to write a very short routine and pack as many puns on one theme as possible into that short routine, right? I did this in our first episode, and I've tried my hand at it once again. And I decided to go after superheroes and supervillains, right? This was my subject matter, but I have framed it in the story of a man going to the sandwich shop.
Okay.
Right? There are 25 puns in here, if you can find them all while you're listening, including the title, which is Superheroes. My favorite sandwich place is famous for its oversized superheroes. I like it because it's pretty low-key. But yesterday, when I arrived, the owner was yelling at someone on the phone. "What kind of place do you think I run, man?" While I waited to be sat, I looked at the dessert display, delicious-looking cakes lined up in a row, and a pie row as well. And on top of the desserts display, a sign announced today's special, Superman Nakati with any meal. Seems like only yesterday it was super boiled potatoes. Looking over my menu, I was thinking, I might try daredeviled eggs. And then I saw my server. She made me wonder, woman or man? When I spied her man hands, I suspected she might be an X-Man. She was wearing a black Joker around her neck and some killer Crocs. It sounds like a strange outfit, but she really knew how to rock it. But thank goodness I didn't punish her for her rogue fashion by asking for someone else, because I would have missed her fantastic service. She approached the table with a jug of water, and I said, She approached the table with a jug of water and said, "I got you some Aquaman. Do you want me to leave the jug or not?" "Sure. What sandwich do you recommend?" I asked. "The Carlwich. It's got roast beef pastrami, bacon, Russian dressing, and 3 kinds of cheese." "Why is it called the Carlwich?" I asked. "Well, Carl was the owner before he was found dead poolside. Heart attack. So now we offer a smaller, healthier version, affectionately known as Scarlet Witch." Oof. That was an uphill battle in there. I didn't want to riddle her with questions, but I had to know. Howard the Duck sandwiches. Well, if I were you, I would have a quiche. Have a quiche and save room for dessert. Sounds great, I said. As I handed her my menu, she flashed me a smile with a wide gap, and I figured her dentist was unable to saber tooth.
Just stop.
And that is Puttiest to Show. Well, Michael, this has been our first episode in our brand new digs, and I like it.
I like it too.
I'm a fan.
Let's stay here
Okay.
if we can.
Yeah, we're going to try and not offend our sponsors.
That's right.
No, we're not really sponsors, but we are very, very thankful once again to WP Ninjas, the company who allows us to use their space totally free because they like us.
That's right.
Or don't dislike us enough to say no.
I think it's that one.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
It's good enough for us. And we want to thank our almost sponsor, Bond Life Coffee.
Thanks again, guys.
And thanks for listening to you guys out there.
We'll see you
In a few weeks.
in a few weeks.
Yeah, and this has been The Punnery.